Waltham, Massachusetts for a meeting with Saucony. We'll be here Monday through Thursday to work on new shoes, see new stuff. Yeah, honestly, the nice part about it is kind of open-ended, so we can work on a bunch of stuff, lifestyle, running, and meet with a bunch of members from their team.
How are you? How's it going? Good. See you here. So, how's the training? It's good. Actually, the train's easy. Let's go.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Then we were like, those are crazy.
Yeah, these are like our Asia team makes these. It's called the Cradle, but it's obviously based on the Speed 4.
I had just posted them on Instagram first time. 2 hours ago. I have a feeling they'll be a hot commodity. Hot commodity. Ooh.
But I think the speed needed to be
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are like, pop.
Where's
Yeah.
your like? Why didn't you use your green? And I'm just
I've
like,
seen that a bunch.
I needed more speed. That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's not. It wasn't
This
fast
blue,
enough.
yeah.
This blue's fast. 2 mile warm up, 5 by mile at 5:32. So like 83s per lap per 400. 5-minute jog, and then 4 by 230. No slower than 32, according to Mike.
Hundreds felt good. I think probably could have run them a little faster if the track wasn't soaking wet. I had a headwind right there, but what can you do? Miles felt, those were chilling.
Yeah, it was tough, but I was a little tight in the beginning. It took me about 2 full mile repeats to warm up a little bit, which I feel like is common, like this far into training. So probably have to do a little bit better job at making sure I'm taking care of my body, because I don't do that as well as I should have. So stretching, I don't know, cold plunge, who knows? I don't do any of it, so gotta work on it.
In the feedback from the social posts about the Speed 4, the 2 we've had said they're either going to fly in or will be in town for the marathon anyway. So I think, if we have a ton of pairs there, maybe we can get them into the hands of people that want to run in them before reselling them.
Yeah, it should be interesting, because I think there is, we've talked about it before, is like a lot of crossover between people in the community who like the lifestyle and also the performance shoe. A lot of people who like, fashion and that sort of thing, and also are into running or working out. So I think a lot of the same people who were at the first pop-up will want to go to the other pop-up, the one coming up, which will be cool to see faces at both. And also I just think bodes well for the direction we're going, which is the lifestyle and the performance.
The feedback I'm seeing is that people are either going to start running because of the shoe, or that they're going to try Saucony for the first time because of the shoe, which I think is huge because of how good Saucony's like running shoes have become. And I think it's one of those things where runners tend to just go with what they know, and so to get them into a new shoe or a new brand is quite hard. But to be able to show them something like that through like a collab pair, and then eventually, convert them to a loyalist, I think is a cool story to tell.
miles in.
How many laps are we doing?
Well, we ran 2 miles here, and then we had 44 to get to 13. So who knows how many we have left.
What are we at?
10.5 miles.
Have you ever ridden this much around the track?
No. It's like 8:40 pace or 8:115. Chilling. 13 in the bag, 9 on the track. Fun.
Earlier in the week, I released an image of our Speed 4 collab with Saucony. I hadn't really talked much about it just because I leaked the Triumph 4 so early that it just caused the firestorm of people asking me about it for like 2 years straight. So I tried to keep this one a bit more under wraps. And with it coming out early November around the New York City Marathon, I figured now was a good time to probably leak the first image and then talk about it a bit more. But we didn't always have it as this color. We started with 4 colors right off the bat. We had a red, white version. Some of the detailing you probably can't even see on camera, but minted New York, the branding was here. Other than that, not too much changed. Clay's actually running in this pair right now. Yeah, Sean came up with the colors of this one. Branding again, right here. None of these felt right. I don't know. It was like a kind of a gut feeling. I think all of us felt like it was almost too safe for a running shoe. This one had our Run Club characters on it. Branding again right here. Other than that, not much changed. This one was the Dark Knights. I actually liked the way that Clay had duplicated the logo here to give it a bit of motion. I don't mind these. I think if we went to like version 3 or 4, we could get them in a good spot. But again, didn't go with them. We got all of these back and we wanted something faster and that stood out a bit more than everything else you kind of see on the market. We were trying to think of if our shoe was up on a shelf around all the other shoes on the market, like what's going to stand out or what's a color that's not really used all that much from brands across the board, and hadn't seen a lot of electric blue stuff. So we originally sent over a swatch to Saucony, which is this electric blue. This is really just a wall paint, not knowing if they'd be able to color match something like that onto a shoe. And thankfully for Maura, who we dealt with a lot on the factory side of things and tooling of the shoe, she was able to, in iterations, get them closer and closer to the electric blue that we needed, but dull, glossy. And then some of the other smaller detail pieces that were different. You can also see the mesh changed a little bit. Got a bit darker, it was a bit too light here. As far as the insole goes, I talked about it on Instagram a little bit, but this route in Central Park is the route that a lot of people run. It's a 6-mile loop. You start kind of Columbus Circle, work your way up to the top of the park. This is like the Harlem Hill section, Notorious Hill in Central Park, and a lot of people run this because it gives you hill work in New York where otherwise it's quite hard to get outside of like bridges or super far uptown. And so this is what it would look like on Strava after a run. Just a small detail. In the box, for the Triumph lifestyle shoe, way different box than we used. This is what we went with the Speed 4 box. The idea behind it being that this is almost like a ticket to a sporting event, based off like old school like paper tickets that you would have walking into a sporting event. I think the ticket we had modeled it after was a baseball ticket, but you get the general idea here. Kept the electric blue detailing on the inside. Not as artistically creative and crazy as the Triumph 4 box, but it needed to serve a different purpose, and It wanted to feel like your ticket to new training, fast training, racing is kind of what you get when you're picking up the piece. And there's gonna be a pop-up around the New York City Marathon. I'm thinking November 1st, the back half of the afternoon. The idea here is that's a Friday. New York City Marathon is Sunday. We were gonna do it Saturday, but I don't think people wanna be on their feet if they're racing all that much and they're in town for the race, whatever. Don't wanna stand in line, whatever, I get it, been there. So Friday afternoon, people should still be in town for the race, maybe after bib pickup, come by, see the shoe, buy a pair if you want. It'll release first at the pop-up and then online maybe a week or so later. We're not set in stone on the online release date, but it'll release on the Minted New York website as same as last time. We'll do what we can against the bots. Haven't figured out the game plan for that yet, but gonna try to be better than last time.